Hi Jimmy, happy 55th birthday, 45th for me. It's a big birthday and I just thought it'd be nice to kind of take some time and let some of the people who know you take a moment to wish you happy birthday, maybe share a story or something about you. So I sent out a call to everybody. And I was thinking I was going to get lots of roasts, and that's especially what I expected from your nieces and nephews who you've terrorized for an entire generation. So here we go. We're going to get started with Trisha talking about her favorite Jim Hennessy, Uncle Jimmy story.
Uncle Jimmy. I was trying to think about what I was going to say in this video. If I'm honest, I had too many things and yet not enough to say. You have provided us with so much joy, so much love, and so much laughter over the years. You have truly been the backbone of this family, and I can't tell you how much I appreciate it. Even though you might have contributed to some therapy sessions by telling me that Santa got hit by an airplane, or taking me out into the ocean and pretending like you got eaten by a shark. Definitely some therapy there, but still, you have given me so many memories and so many laughs that I will cherish for the rest of my life, and I can't thank you enough for that. I look forward to so many more. I wish you a very, very happy birthday, and I love you so much.
Really, Trisha? You love and cherish him? Backbone of the family? I mean, he did tell you that Santa Claus died. I was a little disappointed. I was expecting for a really, really good roast there, but all right. So apparently she's had enough therapy. Trisha forgives you, but I knew the other nieces and nephews would give us plenty to go on. So next thing I did was turn to Lauren.
Hey, happy birthday, Uncle Jimmy. The one story that I love the most is when my mom made you come up and talk to me after I threw my fit at Kohl's, and how you came up and you told me how disappointed you were in me, at how I was acting, and how hard it was on my mom that my dad wasn't there, and how much harder I was making it for her. And I remember being so embarrassed because Uncle Jimmy yelled at me, and like that wasn't something that happened. But you also brought up some really good points that I probably wouldn't have thought of if anybody else had been yelling at me about how hard it was on my mom. And I love that story, like now, looking back on it, because now as an adult, I see how much of a father figure you've always been in our lives. You know, to me and Emily and Roxanne and even to Ian. And how lucky we were to have you. Just how much you loved us and sacrificed for us when you didn't have to, when you just did. You know, and you're just always there for us, and you're always there for my family and for my mom, for my parents. You know, with everything that we've gone through, you have really just stepped up and just been, you know, a constant in our lives. And I just, you know, I'm so grateful for that. And I'm crying because I'm pregnant and emotional, and I love you. But I just, you know, we're so lucky to have you in our lives, and you are like a second dad to me, and I'm so grateful for that. I really am. So I just wanted to say happy birthday, say that I love you.
Really? A second dad to you? I think there was lots of abuse that went on there, lots of teasing, lots of sitting on you, all sorts of things. Lauren, you kind of let me down. I think the pregnancy hormones are getting to you. So next I said, I think we need to turn to some of the nieces and nephews who lived with us, because they would have had the full Jim Hennessy experience.
Happy birthday, Uncle Jimmy. I think you're an incredible person, and there's very few people I've seen with the resiliency and the ability to give continuous love like you do. So I'm very blessed to have you as a role model, and I think that you deserve the best day ever.
Whatever, Katie. All right. He's been really good to you. I can't really deny that. So it's getting way too serious and touchy-feely, so I realized I need to go to a different niece that lived with us who clearly didn't have the same experience.
I just wanted to wish you happy birthday all the way from New Mexico. The thing that I love most about you, well, there's lots of things I love about you, but the thing that I love most about you is that you've always been there for me. You know, when I think about really my whole life, but especially over the past like 10 years, I just think about all the times that you've been there for me. It was just a word of encouragement that I needed to hear, or a joke, or you calling me and then me calling you back, you telling me that you butt dialed me and you meant to call Lauren. You know, all those silly things. Thinking back to when I lived in New York, you always welcomed me and my friends into your house. You know, you let me live there, you let me be your third child. And even as I've gotten older, you know, even this summer, you just have shown the type of person you are. You drove 2.5 hours all the way to Philly to bring me my suitcase. And I think that just really shows the type of person that you are. You're always wanting to make sure that everyone is taken care of. And honestly, if I could be half the person you are when I get older, I think that I'd consider myself a success.
I want to know how it is that you can wrestle the hell out of that girl, abuse the heck out of her, tease her, taunt her, hide food from her, do all the things that you've done to Emily, and she'll make you a video like that? Like, I feel like I'm always trying to be a nice person. Now I feel like I'm doing the wrong thing. Apparently, I have to sit on people. I have to do all sorts of crazy things to someday get a nice video like that. I think Emily might need some therapy to understand, you know, healthy relationships from Uncle Jimmy who drives you crazy. All right, I'm going to cross my fingers. John Michael lived with us. He only made it 6 months. I think, John Michael, you lived with us like the least amount of time. So I'm guessing you ran the hell out of our house for a reason. So you've definitely got something to say.
Hey, Uncle Jimmy. Happy 55th birthday here from lovely Minnesota. My favorite memory of Uncle Jimmy. There are so very many, but the first thing that pops into my mind is definitely the Nissan that you had when you lived here for a short while in Minnesota. Trying to drive around in that little rear-wheel drive vehicle in the middle of winter with I don't know how many feet of snow on. And one other thing that stands out is when you tricked me and Dan, you convinced us that if we were in the car anywhere and we did this with our fingers, the volume would go up and down on the radio. Because of course you had controls on the steering wheel, but I think they were new at that time and we had no clue. And boy, did you have me going for quite a while.
Hey Jimmy, happy birthday. Let's see, what I remember was when I was, I don't know, maybe 10 years old, being on the beach. You had just got like a new kite or something like that. And I just remember being in love with that kite and playing with it with you, and I just had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, that's my memory.
All right, now I'm just annoyed. I believe the story about Jimmy dressing up like a serial killer murderer in the middle of the Minnesota winter, breaking into the cabin where John Michael and Dan were sleeping with their dad, and Johnny and Jimmy pretending that he was like a murderer and trying to kill the boys and run into the refrigerator and steal food. But this is the story that comes to mind when John Michael thinks about you. Again, I'm a little let down. This roast is turning like really nice, and I don't really know where to go with all this niceness that's coming in. This is definitely not what I expected. I'm giving up on the nieces and nephews. I think they have selective amnesia. I don't know if they're camera shy, what it is, but we all know our own kids in any family, they'll tell us how it really is. So I tracked Seamus down at the skate park.
Dad, thank you for putting up with everything I've done in the past year. I love you so much, and thank you for doing everything for me. I mean, I don't know what I would do without you. I love you.
Hi Dad, happy birthday. I think you're turning 55, but at this point you're so old, who can know? So I'll just say it's 55. So you're the best dad I could ever ask for, and I love you so, so much. I was supposed to tell a funny story because everyone is apparently telling sad stories, and Mom said that it sounds like a funeral video, so I was supposed to lighten that up. No pressure to me or anything like that, you know? So the best dad moment I can probably think of is, for some reason, you decided that it was better to drive the RV through the Bronx every day for 3 days in a row, to and from, all the way out to Connecticut, which is like an hour-and-a-half drive. You drove the freaking like 24-foot long RV through the Bronx all the way up. And then when I was like at school, you would park the RV in the back of like the back parking lot. And I think the second or third day that was happening, some people came in and they were like, there's a creepy man parked outside in the RV. And I had to stand up in front of everyone in my class and be like, actually, that's not a creepy guy. That's actually my dad. He's taking a nap in there. So yeah, that's, I think, the best way I can describe you. So I love you.
All right, so Molly tried to bring it a little bit more. Seamus was even really, thoughtful in his response, and I tracked him down. So now I figured I was going to turn to some of your siblings, because, they are pretty merciless when it comes to you. So
at the time Mom was pregnant with you, we were Peter Farrell was coming around a lot, and I used to bring his lunch down to the beach. And anyway, when Mom found out you were pregnant, she asked me what name I wanted to name you if it was a boy, and I said Peter James. And it was after Peter Farrell, and Daddy was like, where did Peter James come from? Who's this Peter? Well, anyway, Mom gave birth, and Dad called me first thing in the morning. He said, I'm filling out the papers. What are we going to name this child? And I said, James.
A couple of things I remember, Jimmy, is that on Saturday and Sunday mornings, I always would put you in the leg lock, and everybody would scream at me, you're hurting him, you're hurting him. Meanwhile, your face is beet red, and you're saying, I like it, And one of my memories that I can think of, I walk down the walk, and I see you running, somebody chasing you, and then Janet chasing the guy, saying, you touch my brother, I'm going to kick your ass. But I just want you to know how, I know that you looked up to me when I was younger, but I always looked up to you. And the thing that I find that most happiness is your love for Bonnie and your family, and how much they love you. And you have compassion, you have patience, you have something special that few people have. So happy birthday, love you, take care.
Oh, good Lord. Even Johnny had something nice to say about you. I don't know what this is. I don't know if you paid them all off before this happened, but I don't think you made it to Queens. So I figured your cousins are going to have something real to say about it.
So, of course, I have to start with your Uncle Tom's all-time favorite story of you. You know what it is. When you used to come to our house in Queens on many weekends, and you would play intramural basketball with us, and Uncle Tom said that you had to follow this one guy wherever he went and just guard him wherever he went, no exceptions. And then, what do you know, during a timeout, again, we were only in like the third grade or something, but during a timeout, we're in a huddle, getting some advice from whatever, because Uncle Tom was the coach, and John Wukovitz, who you used to call Wookie. And there you are, over by the other team's bench. This poor kid is just sitting down, and you're hovering over him, guarding him as if he's still on the court. So
just want to wish you a happy double nickel birthday. We hope you enjoy your amazing day. We just want to tell you how much we love you and we appreciate you, and we think you're an amazing father, an amazing husband, and a wonderful cousin. And I just think it's amazing that out of 35 first cousins that you and I have the amazing bond that we do. And we just want you to know that we appreciate you and we think you're as funny as all get out, and we enjoy spending time with you.
And I'm just here to make this video look good. So ditto to everything that she said, except we're not blood cousins, but I just love the relationship that we have. And can't wait to grow old with you. Older with you.
Apparently, all those sessions I did with Laura on the beach for the past like 20 something years of her telling me about the terrible things you did to her when you were a kid, and even you saying, oh my God, I was so terrible to Laura. I don't know what happens. 26 years later, it's like they don't remember any of them and they want to retire with us and go cross country in an RV. I don't know. So we are going to shift gears and we're going to go into my side. Okay, we're going to my friends and my family because they're pretty sarcastic, and I felt like if anybody is going to tell a real Jim Hennessy story, it's going to have to be my side.
Early on in your marriage, I moved to the East Coast. I didn't know anyone, and I feel like I just am remembering all the times I stayed at your house, the time I spent Thanksgiving at your mom and stepdad's house, all the times you guys took me on long drives and nice dinners that I couldn't afford, and your home was the only home I ever knew on the East Coast, and I always felt like I was welcome, so thank you for that. When I was in medical school, Bonnie and Jimmy, you guys invited me, allowed me to be there for the birth of Molly, which remains one of the biggest honors of my life, and I am very appreciative for that. We got to go on a tour of the hospital, and as I recall, it was a Catholic hospital, and the tour was led by a nun, and it was us, the three of us, and a lot of, expecting couples. It was really lovely. And whether we were getting side-eye or not, I don't know. But at some point, I remember it struck Jimmy that perhaps everyone thought that he might be the sperm donor and that Bonnie and I were a couple. And before Bonnie and I could jump to reassure everyone, the actual relationship, best friend from high school, in medical school, asked her to be in the room, Jimmy leans in hard and starts making all sorts of comments like, geez, ladies, I know I didn't contribute much, but thanks so much for letting me be here. I'm really excited to be part of the birth process, even if I was only a small part of conception. And it got cringier and cringier, and we were laughing harder and harder. And I remember the nun not being too impressed with us. But you're still one of the funniest people I know. And thank you, both of you, for showing me such a good example of what I wanted in a partner, what I wanted for my marriage and for my home.
I like knowing that you've been a part of my sister's life for so long, and that you've managed to build a wonderful life with her and your beautiful children. I never worry about my sister because I know that you are there to look after her while she's busy looking after everybody else. From the day of your wedding on that cold January morning, up to the last trip that we took there in August, it's been an incredible journey, and for every time in between. And let's not forget how much my daughters absolutely adore you. The fact that you can actually make Sasha laugh and feel involved is so important to me and melts my heart when she opens up to you the way that she does. And that's your true gift, Jimmy. It's the ability to reach people by speaking to them in a way that they not only understand, but can appreciate.
Happy birthday, Jamie. Favorite memory is, of course, Ireland, summer of 2000. And you took me everywhere. You were so kind and gracious, and we went everywhere and saw everything and had such a good time. But especially when you were driving the country roads and you would jack the clutch and it would make this huge noise, and all the old people would piss their pants and jump off the side of the road, and it would just make me piss my pants. I laughed so hard. So funny. Who thinks of that? You. So happiest of birthdays. Love you. Looking forward to hopefully seeing you soon. Bye.
This video is for Jimmy and Bonnie, I guess. I'm supposed to say something memorable about Jimmy, and you know, the wonderful things he is and done, or funny things. And for the life of me, I've thought about it, and I really can't think of anything that would be appropriate. I mean, you know, I mean, he's always taken advantage of my gullibility in believing him, only to find out that I probably shouldn't have. But you know, we're not going to really go there. Or we could talk about you know, him trying to upstage my delicious guacamole with that imposter orange flavored guacamole that he put out there. But you know, only a deranged person would make something like that with guacamole. Or we could, so I won't go there. We could talk about the time I wake up because I couldn't sleep at like 3 in the morning, only to find my son-in-law sitting at the dinner table eating his Lucky Charms or Captain Crunch, whatever the hell it is. But I guess that's not much worth much saying. So we talk about him mimicking me, and you know, the way I talk sometimes, like, oh God, or jeez. But that's nothing. I mean, I forgive him for that. You know, we could probably talk about how he tries to embarrass me by taunting me or regaling me with stories of his and my daughter's romantic escapades and the language that he uses on there, knowing that it does embarrass me. But since my daughter is also complicit in that, I can't really get mad at him for that. Or we can talk about him in the way he does the same thing to Mary Lou and myself when they were out the last time. But I guess I can't go there either, because I guess maybe that's not something I'm supposed to talk about either. But anyway, so I guess it comes down to, I really don't have much to say other than, you know, I know he treats my daughter well, and he loves my daughter very much, and that makes me happy. And as he will find out, it's all a father ever asks of anybody regarding his daughter. So thank you for that. You know, you're a very good son-in-law. I'm very proud of you and happy to have you as a son-in-law.
Thank God for my dad. Every time you look at him and he's filming himself from here up, or it's all fuzzy or something weird is happening, just remember, apparently you marry your father, so I don't know what that's saying for you as you get older. Love you, Dad. Thank you for that, by the way. Very, very sweet. Even he brought it around to sweet at the end, but I got a couple of ringers in my pocket, all right? So just, you better put on your big boy pants.
Hi, Jimmy. It's your 2 favorite people here. You were the first person that I met in Long Beach. We just, you know, knew it was going to be wonderful. And then we moved in, and then we had to hang out with you. So that sort of changed everything. You know, quite frankly, I'm not still sure if that was bad or good that we met you. Some of the first stories I heard were how you were driving in a car and like just decided you were too far away from a bathroom, so you just let it rip and shit yourself. I don't know. I'm still not sure how I feel about that. I also remember you and Mike sharing the same tube of hemorrhoid cream, and I'm totally not sure how I feel about that. And I remember everything was going well. You were, once in a while, you would be a good dad, and you would like take the kids out and like, you know, pitch a tent and like read them stories and make my kids cry because you were really scary. So everything was going well until you decided to grow this big fucking tumor in your chest and just be like, oh, me, cancer, I've got cancer, everybody look at me, poor me, whatever. So you got all your attention and you're all fucking better now, so stop fucking talking about it because nobody cares. And then
I just want to say happy birthday. I would say, yeah, we've had a lot of great times. I do kind of wish we had met you when we were in medical school, because we would have learned a lot more quickly, because you guys had everything. Specimen. Yeah, you had everything someone could have. It's amazing we're even celebrating your birthday. So happy birthday, and I hope you make it to the next one.
Thank you, Mike and Corinne, for finally coming through and somebody telling stories that really show what I think most of us usually think of when we first think of Jimmy, which is hemorrhoids, Pope stories, and oh yeah, all those medical issues. All right. Thank you. But, you know, I do feel like that one might have been a little harsh for you, so I'm going to give you a nice little softball one next.
Jimmy Hennessy, happy birthday, my friend. Just wanted to take a minute to tell you how much I appreciate you. The world is better because you're in it, and my life is better because you're a part of it. And I'm very thankful for you and blessed to have you as a friend. We have so much in common. We share a love for the beach, a love for music, a love of Mike Portnoy, and most importantly, a love of God. And I just appreciate you as a friend and as a brother. And we're actually part of an exclusive club. I think they're gonna affectionately call it Just for Jimmy and Joel from now on. So you know what I'm talking about. But all kidding aside, I appreciate you and just wish you the best on your special day. Happy birthday, my friend.
Special for you, and I'm coming to you here from the morning, well, actually not morning sun, from the Point Lookout Community Church Sunday school room. And I just want to thank you again for putting all these chairs together. If it wasn't for you, the kids would be sitting on the floor right now. But seriously, thank you for all the work that you do for us and always being willing to help out wherever needed. So thank you. So appreciated. And I love you as a friend. You're awesome. You're genuine. You're always thinking about your family, thinking about other people. And I'm really inspired by everything that who you are and what you do and how you come to the prayer meetings and just your genuineness. So have a wonderful year ahead.
Yeah. He puts together chairs for little kids at the nursery at church. Yeah. He's got a nice side to him. And speaking of kids, video wouldn't be complete if I didn't have at least one video from one of the many students you've taught who is now, I think, closer to my age than anything, which makes this next one very sweet and funny.
Hi, this is a video with a special birthday message for Mr. Hennessy, who is my teacher a very long time ago when I was in high school. And he's turning 55, okay? 65, 75. And he encouraged me to write poetry when I was in school. And I'm very thankful for that. Just an all-around great teacher. And this is Ashley. Right?
Hey.
And this is Kayla.
Hi.
And they're my twin girls. How old are you?
8 and a half.
8 and a half. Okay, don't forget the half part. All right.
Thanks for teaching my dad, so now he taught me how to make poems.
All right, thanks, kid. All
Happy
right.
birthday.
Happy birthday. Bye.
Poetry. You're getting credit for teaching Chris Morrissey how to write some of the best poetry I've ever seen written. Agamemnon, all the stuff he wrote about, you get the credit for that? Again, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. But just in case people are getting the idea that you're some sort of poet and you build chairs for children and all that kind of stuff, don't worry, I saved the best for last.
Hey, I'm Justin. I'm Bonnie's youngest brother. I met Jimmy in the summer of around 1996, I think. He was wearing a dark Speedo and eating my mother's homemade salsa. Now, I only mentioned the Speedo because I remember thinking, it's probably the first and the last time I'll ever see, his nipples. So over the course of the next 10 years, we kind of established a generic brother-in-law relationship. We exchanged pleasantries on holidays via phone calls. And then sometime around the second Obama administration, I made an offhand remark in a text message about, his nipples. Little did I know that this would change my relationship with Jimmy forever. At first, the text messages, they started off slow, like a nipple pun here, a nipple joke there. Then the pics started. Wide shots, close-ups. Make no mistake, Bonnie was involved. They flooded in on birthdays, holidays like Christmas, Thanksgiving, fucking Flag Day. The images were so plentiful that I'm pretty confident I could pick out his nipples in a lineup. The good Lord could strike me blind and I could identify those motherfuckers through Braille. It wasn't just his nipples either. I started receiving third-party content, nipple shots, unsolicited. That's Short nipples, long nipples, small areolas to full-on salamis. I tried to fight back with my own barrage of STD-related Google images, but I was outmatched. See, much like Kaiser Soze, Jimmy knew that he just needed to have the will to do what the next guy wouldn't. In recent years, Jimmy's nipple campaign has kind of slowed down. I don't know if it was the pandemic. Maybe he's just getting more mature, or he's lulling me into a false sense of security, you know? But I feel like fences are being mended. I look forward to rebuilding our relationship using a more traditional model. I mean, all nipple jokes aside, you know, I'm better off for knowing him. So happy birthday, Jimmy. I love you, man.
I mean, I guess in essence, after recovering from that, it shouldn't be surprising to see that besides my brother, everybody had such nice things to say about you. You are a Renaissance man. I remember when I met you and I was trying to lie by omission for my parents' benefit, 18-year-old that I was in New York all by myself. I was a little afraid to tell them I was dating a 28-year-old, at least until they met you. And so I just didn't mention your age, but over the couple months we were dating, you know, excuse me, I have to look at my Post-it here to keep track of everything. I remember mentioning on occasion stories about you either being a fireman and saving people from fires, you know, and sharing a story here or there. You being a lifeguard and about the people that you saved on the beach in between beer softball and making videos that I could definitely not show anymore while you guys were lifeguards and making fun of one another and pranking each other. There was the days where you were rowing in the boat for the lifeguard team. Hockey player playing on teams with James Sullivan, whose birthday's also March 15th. The days that we learned to snowboard together. And of course, we all have to know that of course it came up when I was talking to my family and my mom that you were a model, that you'd been around the block a little bit with that you apparently had a lot of fashion sense, you know, because of course anybody who knows Jimmy knows that he really cares about looks and fashion and all of that. It's one of his signature things. And all of that was before you became a teacher. So clearly it was hard to hide your age. My mom knew pretty quick that there was no way you were 18, 19, 20, 21, or even 22. So I had to tell her your age, and she promised not to judge you till she came out. And as I recall, she came out a week later, met you, and she actually cried that night. She said to me, as I love to tell this blubbery story, she said, I can tell after one night of having Chinese food with you two that you're completely in love and you're gonna get married someday and you're gonna be happier than I could have ever wished for. And you know what? She was right, you know? It's been a long 26 years filled with beautiful memories and hard ones and all sorts of beautiful stuff. So I just wanna say thank you for all of that. Hey honey, there's just one more person that I'd like to send you a message from, and this video wouldn't be complete without it.
I miss you. I hope everything is moving along. It seems like it is. I really haven't bothered you, but I want you to know you've been in my prayers, honey. I love you, miss you. Bye-bye.
We heard it's your birthday and we had to put together a special video. And so we're gonna be the trio singing, or the, what is it with four? Quartet. Okay, a quartet, we're ready. Okay, ready? Hit it, Michael. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jimmy. Happy birthday to you. And many more. Happy birthday. I love you. I'm so grateful that you're my brother. Indy is grateful that you're her uncle. I hope you have the best day. Happy birthday. We love you.
Happy birthday to my favoriteest brother-in-law. Congrats on being 55.
Short and sweet. Say bye.